Now to the latest on the coronavirus pandemic. Last night, FEMA announced the approval of a major disaster declaration for the state of New York. It follows a directive by Governor Cuomo that, starting tomorrow, 100% of New York's non-essential workforce has to stay home. That's on top of a total ban on non-essential gatherings and a call to avoid mass transit, if at all possible.
Now, as we remind you that the vast majority of people who contract this virus will absolutely recover, we do need to give you the latest numbers from the city. The 5 boroughs now have 5,700 cases of coronavirus. 43 people have died, and those numbers, of course, expected to rise, unfortunately, as testing expands. And those numbers, along with directives from the city and the state, mean a lot of empty streets around town, and it looks like it's going to be that way for a while, folks.
NBC's Maura Barrett is in Union Square right now, where the Farmers Market usually draws big crowds. Maura, what are you seeing there this morning?
Good morning, Pat and Gus. So like you said, the streets of Manhattan are eerily quiet for a Saturday morning, but just behind me, Union Square Farmers Market is in full steam ahead because it's deemed an essential business under Governor Cuomo's 100% stop on non-essential businesses because it sells fresh produce, food, and the like. I'm going to step aside, and my wonderful photographer, Tim, is going to zoom in here to kind of show you the activity. We're seeing people kind of slowly trickle in. The vendors showed up around 6 a.m. this morning, set up their tents like always, kind of in their same normal blocks, but we have noticed them. They have their gloves on, their surgical masks. The farmers market has set up some hand sanitizer booths, and there are signs at every booth that encourage and advise customers not to touch any of the products themselves. The vendors will actually hand them any products that they're interested in buying. So everyone is taking precautions as necessary, despite, all the confusion around this coronavirus pandemic. Currently, I was just speaking with a vendor here. He sells fresh honey and local grown honey here in the park, and he was saying he's not worried about his business being affected here today. He thinks some people will still come out to buy their food because people have to eat, and maybe because it's an open air market, people will feel a little safer than at their typical grocery store. We're just across the street from Whole Foods, and we saw some people lining up outside there this morning. But basically, this is an opportunity for people to practice social distancing, even in a crowded farmers market environment. Use their hand sanitizer, stay safe, but make sure they get all of their food and items that they're going to need for the week ahead. Pat and Gus.